On the edge of the Mississippi River sits a relic frozen in time. Its masts and flags stick out over the levee, drawing the eyes of those passing by. That relic is the USS Kidd destroyer, and it's about to set sail for the first time in 40 years. Here's why it's leaving Baton Rouge, and when it'll be back. In its prime, the USS Kidd was a destroyer ship that surrounded other ships and served as an offensive shield in World War II. Once, it was hit by kamikaze and still survived. After a brief tour in the Korean War, the ship was brushed up in Philadelphia, and then it was brought to Baton Rouge in 1982. A crowd of thousands of people watched as it floated down the river into its innovative cradle. The USS Kidd Veterans Museum's executive director Parks Stevenson explained,
"After the state decided on bringing a warship to Baton Rouge, the question became, how would you host a ship on a river that rises 30 to 40 feet and falls every year?" So what they did was they came up with this unique contraption that we call the cradle. But after 40 years, the cradle has become Kidd's worst enemy. They're starting to push through the hull.
Because of this, the Kidd will undergo significant repairs later this year. The ship's superintendent, Tim Nesmith, and I went down into the hull of the ship to survey the damage. 3 ladders down and we could finally see the bottom of the hull. Today the water is extremely low, so all that we could see was the leftover river sediment. There are currently 10 holes in the hull. After a few years of finding holes and attempting to patch them, the Kidd's administration knew it had to find a solution.
Department of Interior standards call for a steel-hulled museum ship in fresh water to have an overhaul at least every 20 years.
The plan for now is this. There will be a farewell ceremony for the Kidd sometime in May. The ship will then make its way down the Mississippi, out its mouth, and back around through the Gulf to a shipyard in Houma. While there, the ship will be restored to its World War II layout. To preserve historical accuracy, the original segregated rooms will be added back to illustrate the African-American experience in the Navy during World War II. The Kidd's new paint scheme will return her to her 1940s configuration with dazzle camouflage, a style of camo that looks similar to black and white zebra stripes. Those are the plans, but removing the ship from its cradle could be tricky. The hope is to wait until May, when the river is expected to be at its highest level, and float the ship out. The ship is slated to be gone for a year once it departs. While it's undergoing repairs, the museum plans to stay open and unveil a new exhibit every month. There are even talks of a mixed reality experience that puts the viewer on the ship during wartime. Stevenson says that when the Kidd comes back, Baton Rouge will be ready to welcome it the same way we welcomed everything else, with a party. If you like this episode of 225 Magazine's Between the Lines, don't forget to subscribe. We're always looking for story ideas, so don't hesitate to share your ideas with us in the comments of this video. They might just wind up in our next one.